Hi students, in today's session we are going to discuss about SEBI, which stands for Securities Exchange Board of India. In the last session we discussed about stock exchanges and its indices. We know that stock exchanges are nothing but secondary market where buying and selling of existing securities takes place. Here securities means what? Equity shares, preference shares, debentures, bonds, all these constitute as a securities. So, the development of the primary market is dependent on the development of the secondary market. If the secondary market is well organized, if the secondary market is well controlled by the authorities, if the transactions are transparent in nature, then the investor is ready to invest his savings in the primary market. So, that is why we called the development of the primary market is dependent on the development of the well organized, well controlled secondary market. In the secondary market or in the stock exchanges, the investor who wants to purchase shares or the investor who wants to disinvest, which means who wants to sell his shares to other investors, they may get transactions. Here, by doing trading transactions in the stock exchanges, the persons needs to register on that particular stock exchanges. Those who are registered in the stock exchanges has the authority to trade on that particular securities of the companies which are listed on that particular stock exchanges. Already we discussed about the listing of companies. The companies has to fulfill certain requirements to list on particular stock exchanges. Okay, so here to do trading transactions or to do purchase and selling transactions, the persons needs to register in the stock exchanges. Those who registered in the stock exchanges or may called as brokers. Here we are purchasing or selling securities on dependent on the brokers. So, the person who wants to purchase shares, he may consult a broker, and through the broker the transactions may take place in the stock exchanges. They act as an intermediaries. So, here the transactions are happening in the online trading basis. We already discussed about that. In Bombay Stock Exchange, we are following BOLT system, which stands for BSE's online trading system. In the NSE, we are following NEAT system, which stands for National Exchanges Automated Trading, where the transactions are done in the electronic format. Even we are getting the share certificates in the dematerialized form. What is dematerialization? Conversion of physical documents into electronic format is called as dematerialization. To transact on securities in the stock exchange, the investor has to maintain a separate account which is called demat account, and those accounts are maintained by depositories. These are several aspects which are related to the stock exchanges. Okay, so here the investor is investing his savings. So he needs some protection. Here the secondary market is regulated by the one of the authority. That authority is called as SEBI. Which stands for Securities Exchange Board of India. Securities and Exchange Board of India. Okay, here Securities means what? Equity shares, preference shares, debentures, bonds. All those constitute as a securities. The Securities Exchange Board of India regulates the stock exchanges. The main objective of SEBI is to protect the investor. The main objective of the SEBI is to protect the investors. The rights and interests of the investor should be protected by SEBI. And to regulate the stock exchanges, it has to regulate the operations in the stock exchanges. Okay, depending upon these objectives, the business or the government has introduced SEBI. The SEBI is first established in 1988. Established. Why the government has established SEBI? To protect the investors and to regulate the stock markets. Okay, later on it is established as a interim administrative body. It is established as a interim administrative body. Okay, later in 1992, the SEBI gets a statutory status. Get the statutory status. SEBI got the statutory status in 1992 by an ordinance. And then this ordinance is replaced by Parliament by an act which is called as Securities Exchange Board of India Act 1992. Okay, in the 1992 the SEBI got the statutory status by the ordinance which is formed by the government. Later in 1992 this ordinance is converted as an act in the Parliament. Then the act came into force like Securities and Exchange Board of India Act 1992. How the establishment of Securities Exchange Board of India is taken place. The Securities Exchange Board of India as established as an interim administrative body in 1988 with the main objective is to protect the investor and to regulate the stock markets. And in 1992 the Securities and Exchange Board of India has got the statutory status by an ordinance. Later in 1992 the ordinance is replaced by an act by Parliament and that act is Securities and Exchange Board of India Act 1992. From the establishment of SEBI, it is doing hard work to regulate the stock markets and to protect the investors. It learns the education from the cheatings, the past cheatings that are done to the investors, innocent investors. Okay, it provides certain rules and regulations towards the stock exchanges. Here, the Securities and Exchange Board of India considers three important factors. Those are market participants. Those people are, the first one is issuer of shares. Here issuer of shares are companies. Those are companies, specifically those are public limited companies. And next one is market intermediaries. Market intermediaries. Those are nothing but brokers, sub-brokers, underwriters, merchant bankers. All those constitute as a market intermediaries. And the next one is investors. These three categories will transact in the stock exchanges. So, the SEBI considers these three persons, how they are operating, how they are getting the transactions to be done in the stock exchanges. They focus on these elements which happens in the stock exchanges. Okay, first one, issuer of shares. Who issues the shares? Companies, especially those companies, public limited companies. And market intermediaries. Here market intermediaries for what? Brokers, sub-brokers. And investors, the person who wants to purchase or who wants to sell the securities in the stock exchanges. Those are called as investors. Okay, then next we are going to discuss about the administrative body of Securities Exchange Board of India. How many persons are there to manage or to administrate the Securities Exchange Board of India? So, the Securities Exchange Board of India constituted by the Union Government or the Government of India. In this, the first one is chairperson. Chairperson, who is nominated by Union Government of India. Union Government of India. Okay, and two persons, these are officers in the Finance Ministry, officers in the Finance Ministry in Union Government of India, and one person from RBI. Here RBI means Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India. Okay, and next there may be 5 persons. Those are appointed by Union Government of India. Out of 5 persons, 3 persons considered as whole-time members. It is the administrative body of the Securities Exchange Board of India. The first one is chairperson. He is nominated by the Union Government of India. And the next one, there are 2 persons. Those are officers in the Finance Ministry in Union Government, and 1 person from RBI, and 5 persons, those are appointed by Union Government of India. Out of 5 persons, 3 persons considered as a whole-time members. 3 persons considered as a whole-time members. SEBI is playing prominent role in the stock exchanges because the regulatory transactions and the development transactions towards the SEBI is taken towards the stock exchanges are taken by the SEBI. Okay, Here we have to consider that the government also takes advices from the SEBI. SEBI is acting as a ultimate authority on the stock exchanges. To form a new stock exchange in India, the government get the advice from the SEBI. If SEBI approves that, then only the government will approve for that stock exchange. And if the SEBI thinks that from particular stock exchange is not operating according to the rules, it is not operating, it is not providing protection to the investors, they are not maintaining proper records, there are some misleading transactions are happening, then the stock exchange ban the trading of securities in that particular stock exchanges. That's why SEBI is acting as a ultimate authority on the stock exchanges. Okay, so now we have to know about what are the objectives of Securities Exchange Board of India. Okay, what are the objectives? The main objective of SEBI is to protect the investors. The main objective of the SEBI is to protect the investors and to regulate the stock markets. Right? Objectives. The first object is to regulate the stock exchanges and securities market, stock exchanges and securities market. And next objective is to protect the investors, especially individual investors, And next one, to prevent malpractices, and achieve a balance between self-regulations of stock market with the statutory regulations, and to promote and development of market intermediaries. These are the main objectives of SEBI. The first object is to regulate the stock exchanges and securities market. Here stock exchanges and securities markets are one and the same. Here the SEBI is there to regulate the stock exchanges and securities market. For what they are regulating? To promote the orderly functioning or to promote and growth for the stock exchanges, they are regulating the stock exchanges. Okay, so the first objective is to regulate the stock exchanges and securities market, and second object is to protect the investors. It is the very important object regarding Securities and Exchange Board of India. Here SEBI learns the education from the past cheatings with an innocent investors. There are certain things are happened in the earlier before the establishment of SEBI. So it learns those as a lessons and it tries to eliminate the that things, which means the misleading or the misrepresenting things that are given by the brokers or other companies. So, here the SEBI wants to protect the investor, especially which investor? Individual investor. There are different kinds of investors. Here, for example, first one is individual investors, and second one is institutional investors, and foreign institutional investors. Several categories are there depending upon the operations that they are doing. The first one is individual investors. Here individual investors means the person who directly invests his amount in that particular stock exchanges by broker. If there is a person A, he has some 1 lakh of money, 1 lakh worth of money is with A, and A wants to invest in stock exchanges. Here A is a single person, he is called as a individual investor. Here the investment of A is depend upon the description that is given by the broker or the information that is given by the stock exchanges. Depending upon that information, he is investing his amount in that particular companies. Those are called as individual investors. And second category is institutional investors. Here the name indicates institutions. I already explained in the concept of insurance and banks. What banks are doing? They are collecting deposits from the public and they are lending as a loans, or they may invest in some of the companies like insurance companies. They collecting premium from the policy holders, and those premium is going to invest in the some profit earning companies. We are already discussed about this matter, right? Like if the investment is made by such particular institutions, then those institutions are called as institutional investors. Those are called as institutional investors. The best example for the institutional investors are LIC or the insurance companies. Okay, and next one, foreign institutional investors. Here also those are the investors which are from abroad, or the companies that are operating in abroad, they want to invest in our Indian companies. Those are called as foreign institutional investors. So, here the main objective of the SEBI is to protect the investors, especially these individual investors. Because why not the institutional investors? Of course, it also protects the rights and interest of the institutional investors. Here what happens, when a person is investing separately, then he may depend upon the information that is given by the authorities. Coming to the institutional investors, they may focus, they may study the investment patterns, they may study different companies' net worth, then they will invest. Here that possibility is not for the individual investors, they may not aware of those knowledge, right. So, that is why the SEBI wants to protect the investors. And next one is to prevent malpractices, which harms the investors' investment, which leads to cheat the investors. To prevent malpractices and achieve a balance between self-regulation of stock market with the statutory regulations. Here every stock exchange has its some regulatory framework. It is a self-regulatory framework and it has to match with the statutory regulations. The SEBI is look after this. It prevents the malpractices that are happening in the stock exchanges and it achieves the balance between self-regulation of stock markets with the statutory regulations. And next one, to promote and development of market intermediaries. Here the market intermediaries is nothing but brokers and sub-brokers. They have the opportunity to trade on behalf of the investors in the stock exchange. So what happens here? The SEBI gives some of the training facilities, or it gives the development activities towards the market intermediaries, which makes them more professional and more efficient in the transactions. So these are the different objectives of the SEBI. The first one is to regulate the stock exchanges and securities market, to protect the investors, especially individual investors, and to prevent malpractices and achieve a balance between self-regulation of stock market with the statutory regulations, and to promote and development of market intermediaries. Now we are going to discuss about the functions of Securities Exchange Board of India. The functions of Securities Exchange Board of India. The Securities Exchange Board of India performs, especially it performs two tasks. Those are called as regulatory functions and development functions. But there is another form of function is also there, that is protective functions. Protective functions. Okay. Functions of SEBI. Right? The first one, regulatory functions. It acting as a regulatory authority on stock exchanges. Regulatory functions. And second one, development functions. Next one, protective functions. Okay, regulatory functions. It indicates registration of brokers and sub-brokers. And next one, registration of collective investment schemes and mutual funds. And regulation of takeover bids. Okay, and next one, collecting the data. And next one, regulation of brokers. Okay, then development functions. And another regulatory function, levying fee. Development functions are training to brokers and market intermediaries. Trainings to brokers and market intermediaries. And next one, provides information to interested parties. These are the development functions. And protective functions: prevent malpractices, and protecting from insider trading. So, these are the different functions that are performed by the Securities and Exchange Board of. So, in the regulatory functions, the first one is registration of brokers and sub-brokers. Here we already discussed about who is a broker. The broker is a person who buys and sells shares or the securities on behalf of the investor is called as a brokers. Those brokers are registered in the stock exchanges. The person who is registered as a broker has the opportunity, as the authority to trade on that particular securities which are listed in the stock exchanges. Okay, so here in the regulatory functions, registration of brokers and sub-brokers may takes place by Securities Exchange Board of India. Here different kinds of brokers are there: bulls, bears, stacks, lame duck. We will consider these two persons, bulls and bears. Bears are pessimistic, whereas bulls are optimistic regarding future. Bull broker thinks that the things are happening in the favorable way, then the prices of the securities will definitely increases. His view is like that. Coming to the bears, he is pessimistic. He thinks that the prices of the securities may fall down. The fight between these two fellows, which means the fight between the bulls and bears, is constituted as a stock exchange transactions. That's why their purchase and selling of activities may take place. Right. So, registration of brokers and sub-brokers will take place as a regulatory function in the Securities Exchange Board of India. And the next one is registration of collective investment schemes and mutual funds. Here the registration of collective investment schemes will take place. What is a collective investment schemes? Collective investment schemes are nothing but some persons or some group of investors may pool their financial resources, and combining those resources they invest them into a organizations, or they invest them into purchase certain asset. Those are called as collective investment schemes. Collective investment schemes. And next one is mutual funds. These are also one type of the collective investment vehicles. Collective investment vehicles. It has the same features like collective investment schemes. But the difference arises here between the collective investment schemes and mutual funds are mutual funds, which means by gathering the funds we are investing in the securities only. If it is a mutual fund, we invest those amount in purchasing of securities. Securities are nothing but shares, debentures, bonds. We use only for that purpose in case of mutual funds. Coming to the collective investment schemes, here these funds are invested to purchase the real estates. That is the difference between these two funds. Rest of the features are very similar. So, in the stock exchanges, registration of the collective investment schemes and mutual funds is taken by the Securities Exchange Board of India. Okay. And the next one is regulation of takeover bids. Regulation of takeover bids. Here, takeover means the company wants to purchase another company. The company wants to purchase another company by paying securities or by paying money. The person who is want to purchase is called as acquirer. The person who want to purchase other company is called as acquirer. And the targeted company, which means in which company we are going to purchase, those companies called as a targeted company. These takeovers may be of different types, hostile takeovers, friendly takeovers, like so. Here, the Securities Exchange Board regulate the takeover bids by the companies. Okay, and the next function is collecting the data. SEBI collects the data from stock exchanges. It collects the evidences. It collects the statements that the stock exchange has used. And it gives the information to the market participants, those who participates in the markets. That information is given by the Stock Exchange Board of India. And regulation of brokers. Here, not only registration of brokers will take place. Here there are some regulations that are relating to the brokers will take place in as a function of SEBI. And levying fees. If there is any fees pattern, that fees is to be collected by SEBI from stock exchanges. These are the regulatory functions that are performed by the Securities Exchange Board of India. If there is any other type of regulatory functions which are mentioned in Securities Contract Regulation Act, those functions are also performed by the SEBI. Okay, these are constitute as a regulatory functions. And next one, development functions. Here, the development functions, these regulatory functions and development functions are called as a twin task for SEBI. Okay, so the first one in the development function is training to brokers and market intermediaries. It gives training. It gives training to brokers, those who are registered in the stock exchanges, and market intermediaries, other persons like underwriters, merchant bankers, all these are constitute as a intermediaries. They assist the stock markets in different aspects. Underwriter, he is a bank or it is a financial institution which helps the new issuer to get the shares subscribed. If the shares are issued by a well reputed company, then the investor interested to purchase those shares. If the shares are first time issued by a newly organized company, then the investor may take some time to invest their amount in that shares. If the minimum subscription is not completed by certain company, then the registration of company is not possible. So, to avoid this risk, the companies may seek help from the underwriters. So, all these aspects, the development and training of those aspects will be taken by the Securities and Exchange Board of India. Even merchant bankers also, they provide variety of services to the organizations, particularly for the organizations. As the name indicates, it facilitates the trade and production activities. Okay, and next development function is provides information to interested parties. Here interested parties, already I explained in the introduction that issuer of the company, market intermediaries and investors. SEBI collects the data and SEBI conducts research and development activities. It conducts researches and those results of the researches are published to the general public or the persons who have the interest to trade on the stock exchanges. So, it provides information to interested parties and do other development activities which are mentioned in the SEBI Act 1992. Okay, and coming to the protective functions. The first one is prevent malpractices. It prevents the malpractices. What are those malpractices? For example, misrepresentation, misleading advertisements, all these may form as a malpractices. These are performed by brokers or some other intermediaries towards the investor. Those activities are prevented by the SEBI. It takes a strict act if any person is conducted these activities. Okay, and the next one is protecting from insider trading. It protects the investor from insider trading. Then what is a insider trading is? Insider trading is nothing but doing trading activities by having the information which is not available for the general public. Which is not available for the general public, which means the information is not published towards the public, but it going to be introduced in further days. This information is known to the persons of that particular organization. Then what happens? Those persons may purchase or those persons may buy that particular company's shares. It happens as a insider trading activity. So here insider trading is considered as a illegal activities because here the potential investor is getting lost. That's why SEBI protect the investors from the insider trading. But some sort of insider trading is considered to be legal when the managing director or the CEO of company purchases 1,000 shares of the company by giving information to the Securities Exchange Board of India. Like so, there are certain criteria if that organizations or the persons who buys particular shares at that time follows, then it considered as a legal. So these are the functions that are performed by the Securities Exchange Board of India. Okay, once again, Securities Exchange Board of India performs three types of functions: regulatory functions, development function, protective functions. The first one, regulatory functions. Here, registration of brokers and sub-brokers. The person who is doing activities on behalf of investors is called as brokers. To doing so, they have to register in the stock exchange. That activity is taken by Securities Exchange Board of India. And registration of collective investments, schemes and mutual funds. These both are collective investment vehicles. CIS, collective investment schemes, and MF, mutual funds, both are vehicles for collective investment vehicles. Here the difference between the collective investment and mutual funds are the amount you gathered as a collective investment is going to invest in the real estate, where the amount you gathered like mutual funds is going to invest in securities. It is one of the difference. Other features are same for both the funds. Next one, regulation of takeover bids by the companies. It regulates the takeover bids of the companies. The company who wants to purchase another company is called as acquirer. The company who is going to purchased by the acquirer is called as a targeted company. And collecting the data and regulation of brokers and levying fee, and along with these functions it also performs those regulatory functions which are mentioned in Securities Contracts Regulation Act. Securities Contract Regulation Act 1956. Okay, and development functions, training to brokers and market intermediaries. It provides training to brokers and market intermediaries to make them more professional, more efficient, and provides information to the interested parties. It provides information to the parties, those who have the interest towards the stock exchanges. It collects the factual data relating to the transactions. Okay, and protective functions, prevents from malpractices. Whom it going to prevent? Yes, it going to protects. It protects the investor from the malpractices. It protects the investors from the malpractices by preventing those malpractices in the stock exchanges, and protecting from insider trading. It provides penalties. If any person is doing insider trading, it gives the penalty for that person, and it prevents the insider trading in the stock exchanges. Okay, so SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, is established for the objective of protect the investors, to protect the investors, especially individual investors, and to regulate the stock exchanges. So SEBI is established in the year 1988 as an interim administrative body, and it got statutory status in 1992 by an ordinance. Then the ordinance is replaced by an act in the parliament in the year 1992, and the act is called as Securities Exchange Board of India Act. Okay, I hope all of you are getting the class. Thank you.